Welcome to another episode of Behind the Studs, your home improvement and remodeling podcast, where the two most entertaining guys discuss the do's and don'ts in home construction and in the remodeling industry. Remember that you can nail it, paint it, or just tune into the show. How about that? Here are your hosts, Colin Shaw and Jimmy Driscoll.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Behind the Studs. Hey Jim.
Howdy.
Jesus. It's going to be one of those shows, isn't it?
It's going to be one of those
shows. I can tell
shows.
already. This is not, oh my gosh.
It's been a day.
It has been a day for you?
It's been a day.
Yeah.
I'm still glad I'm above ground, but just barely.
Well, we're happy too.
Oh my God. That's right. We got a great guest today.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. My savior.
Your savior.
Oh, yeah. It's
all right.
Oh, yeah.
So we have Jen Diburro.
Yeah. Jen Diburro.
Yep.
She's an appraiser.
She's an appraiser.
Right.
Which is going to be awesome.
Right. Which some people need to know. And
absolutely.
Get some education, because I certainly got an education from this, because she appraised my property up in New Hampshire.
Okay.
More than once. As a matter of fact, third time was the charm.
Third time the charm.
When I was going with Total Mortgages, they said, yeah, we got an appraiser, but the appraiser was so far. And I go, wait a minute. I got somebody. She said, firecracker. She knows my place. She can do it really quick. And she like, bang. She knocked it in a week, right? You did it in a week, right, Jen?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Well, Jen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jen, for coming. Really appreciate it.
Yes,
really
we do.
Appreciate it. But
thanks for having me.
Before we start the show.
Geez, here it comes. He's
No
had this
pressure.
whole long
Jen,
ordeal with our producer
about
this subject.
Please.
Okay.
Jen,
And please.
I
right.
beg of you.
All right. Don't mislead.
What do you put on your hot dog?
Ketchup.
Yes. Yes. He, for some odd reason, thinks that nobody should put ketchup on a hot dog, but everybody does, I think, except for him. So,
That's the only thing I put on my hot dog.
What?
Yes. I don't understand why you're so shocked
That
at
is
this.
why our country is going to pot. That is why.
It's all to do with the hot dog.
Oh my God.
My oldest son would not have ketchup on his hot dog, though.
That's why.
Really?
God bless him.
Yeah.
God bless him. He should run for president.
What does he put on his hot dog?
He would not put,
What does he put? Mustard?
mustard and relish.
And relish. Okay.
See? That's all right. So, and my point is.
Whoa. You're going to let relish get through this
Absolutely.
over ketchup?
And sauerkraut if you
You're out
want
of
it.
your
I'm not
mind.
a sauerkraut fan.
You are.
Sauerkraut. Ugh.
Oh,
See, all right,
please,
now
yeah.
hold on. When you go to here we go.
Yeah.
Jen, when you go to Fenway Park and you
Yeah.
order a hot dog, they don't give you ketchup. They give you mustard. Gouldens.
Yep. But
You have to bring your own ketchup. Unless you get one.
They have ketchup there.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Bullshit.
What are you going to eat your French fries with?
Do you get French fries at Fenway Park? Do
I don't
you?
know. I don't
Yes.
see Fenway Park.
Joe?
yes.
Okay. Fine. Go ahead.
You're talking to the wrong person about ketchup
No
because
shit, I figured that out.
I put ketchup on everything.
Oh,
Do you
Pizza,
really? Yeah.
everything.
What?
Everything.
Oh, really?
And I really do have ketchup packets in my car because I only eat Heinz ketchup because some of these other places serve like that cheap, yuck
Yep.
ketchup. So
I need mustard people on the show. Please email me and tell me.
Jen, you're welcome back anytime.
thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
I can't believe it. I'm having a freaking meltdown.
Over a
I
hot
can't
dog.
believe it.
Over a hot dog.
And this is what has made your day bad.
No, this just
Right?
just took it over to the end.
Oh,
Because
okay.
last night, Caleb, our sound guy, was over the house, and he doesn't like food. And we got him hot dogs, and he pours ketchup on them. I'm like, what are you doing? You are the Antichrist, I told him. It's just like, he's like, no. It's like ketchup. And I'm like, no one eats ketchup. You're the only one who eats ketchup. And I'm surrounded by people.
Now we can't find anybody who doesn't use ketchup.
That's right. I'm on a quest. I'm on a quest.
Oh, Lord.
Somebody
Yes.
save me, please.
Somebody call in.
Somebody call.
Oh.
Not a- Maybe it's because I'm Lithuanian and Irish. Maybe that's why.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's got to be because I grew up, It just doesn't exist. It didn't exist in my universe, and it never will. And I just can't understand. And I just have to accept it, and I won't. I'm having a hard time. Sorry.
So Jen, when you're not putting ketchup on everything,
Yeah.
what do you do for a living?
So what are you doing? Let's get on with the show now, okay?
I'm gonna try to segue here.
So I am a real estate appraiser.
Okay.
So I do most of my work is for lenders, doing banks for people who are refinancing.
Okay.
But I do some trust, divorces, tax appraisals. But the more prevalent is obviously the lending end of the spectrum. Yeah.
You're slammed right now too. You're
Yeah.
slammed.
Slammed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it coincides with the interest rates being extremely low.
Right. Yep.
Right.
Supply and demand are completely off balance. There's very little supply and very high demand because of the interest rates.
Right.
So,
Right.
yes.
There's no inventory out there right now.
There's no inventory. Yeah.
Right.
Which is driving prices like astronomically high. Like I've never seen prices the way that they are right now. Even after the subprime crash, and that it went up fast, but I never thought prices would be the way they are right now for where I am in Massachusetts.
Right.
Yeah, but it's like that everywhere too. I mean, a house somebody's been working on a house. I knew they were going to flip it eventually. It's right on my street, and it's a raised ranch. It's 3 bedrooms. It's exactly a raised ranch.
Yeah.
And it's like $465,000, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what? I mean, I paid $380 for my house,
Right.
and this was like 15 years ago. But
Yeah.
I just so.
But I think what
when
people are looking at is just that final number. All people care about is their mortgage amount. At the end of the day, they don't care what they're paying for the house. They just care about that monthly mortgage payment. So when you're looking at the interest rate being 2.8 and you're, comparing it to the price of the house, they're just looking at that number over 30 years. So that's, which is extremely low. The interest rate is extremely low. So that's what's driving the price is up, obviously.
Yeah. So how do you, I guess it must be difficult because, you went from like a year ago saying something would be 250 and now you're saying it's 350. So how do you make that switch, that adjustment? Is it based on comp set? Is it based on what?
It's all based on data. So we just look at the sale. We look at, surrounding properties in comparable neighborhoods. Obviously real estate's all about location.
Sure.
And we can't search a different location to get the price to where the people want it to be, I guess,
Yeah.
which happened a lot during the subprime market when we were dealing directly with the mortgage brokers, which we don't deal with anymore. We don't have any contact with the mortgage brokers. We just deal with AMCs, which that's how the appraisal work is filtered through. So it's based on territory. But we were dealing with a lot of pressure from, the mortgage lenders telling us what the values needed to come in at, which is completely illegal. And it just, just completely took a turn,
Right.
Wow.
So you're under a lot of regulation now. It's really changed.
We are. Yeah. Yep.
Because before you could do what you really wanted to do, right? That was before.
Well, they have. There's always been regulations, but now they're extremely strict with location, distance, how far the appraiser's traveling, the competency of the appraiser, obviously. It's way more restricted. But if you're a good appraiser, you should stay in the areas that so you can defend your value and your price and and be confident about it,
Right. So they really want an appraiser who's in that area. They don't want someone who's traveling 30, 40 miles away to appraise a house, correct?
Yes. For instance, I just did an appraisal in my town, and the appraisal came in $40,000 less than what the purchase price, the agreed contract price.
Wow.
And the realtor said to me, wow, I would have been better off with an appraiser that was from out of town or maybe didn't know the area so well.
Yeah.
And I kind of just chuckled at him. And then a few days later, I got the updated purchase and sales, which was $40,000 less than what the people were agreeing to pay for it.
Yeah. Really?
So yeah. And when I had, asked the real estate agent, how did he come up with this value? And he gave me comps that were in far superior neighborhoods than this property. And there were plenty of comparables in the neighborhood that he didn't need to go into, 3 miles away, but that's what they're doing to sort of, come up with their value, because they have, a lot of these places have 20, offers. I did a place that had 88 offers on it.
Come on.
88. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where was the house sitting? What, at a hot dog stand or something? What?
It was just in that price range of affordability, and that's just, and it's a city, and it just shows you that the inventory is so low.
Now, what is the rule on that? Now, if somebody's paying cash, they could pay way over the asking price if they want to. But if you're trying to get a mortgage on this, you can't go higher than what? The appraisal or the assessment? What is? So
it's the appraisal. So you can't, so the bank is not going to lend higher than what the appraised value comes in at.
Okay.
So what's happening today is that a lot of people are writing up purchase and sales, and they're saying in the addendum that they will pay over because they know that it's not going to appraise. So they'll come up with the extra cash to pay over whatever the bank is not going to allow them to borrow.
Gotcha.
Which again is driving the market up too. Those people and the cash buyers are what's driving the market up when you're at the high end of a market,
Right.
Those middle value range people, whatever the medium income of whatever your town is, those are still, there's still a lot of data for those types of homes, but for the higher end stuff, the cash buyers are what's driving up the market.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this?
I want to say 15 years, but I'm going to stick with 15. It's probably more.
Really?
We're going 15.
I'm stuck on 15.
Yeah, you did it right out of high school.
Yeah, no.
How many hours like a week do you work on? Because the business is so crazy.
Right now I'm probably working 60, 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow.
But I just said, and this has been since COVID hit, we worked right through, and I thought I was going to get a break, but then they told me I was part of the financial industry. And I was like, wow, I never thought an appraiser would be an essential worker, but apparently people still need their money.
we thought the same thing as home improvement. I'm like, really? We're essential?
Oh my God.
Essential.
All right.
And you guys have been, you can't even find you guys,
No, you can't
find workers. Yeah.
No.
So it's crazy, but I did just say that I needed to, I'm sort of, trying to do my schedule better so I don't have to put in all those hours, because I have a lot of other stuff I want to be doing now.
Now, how do you become an appraiser?
So you have to do an apprenticeship for, I think it's 2 years. And you know what? I haven't done it in a long time, but I think you have to work under someone as a trainee for 250 hours, I think it is, or 2 years. And then you can go for your state license.
So every state you have to go through a test.
So there are states that are reciprocal, like Massachusetts and New Hampshire are reciprocal, and Maine. Okay. So once you get your Mass license, you just apply for the to be a reciprocal in that state, and they just they send you that. But then you have to do all your continuing education classes every year, to keep up with the standards and anything else. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's very difficult to get into because a lot of the banks don't accept trainees' signatures anymore because of the subprime market. So that's what's making it difficult. When we go to our classes, the only people that you're really seeing get into the industry are like children of appraisers, because they have the time to train their kids and they want to,
Right.
There is still a shortage of appraisers. So
really, okay.
Yeah, in New Hampshire, Jimmy, a lot. New Hampshire. Yeah, I think like the average age of an appraiser in New Hampshire is like 62. And so every year we get the list of the number of appraisers in New Hampshire, and it goes down every year because the people that are retiring, there's not that many people getting into the industry. So it's making for a shortage.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
When are you retiring?
Oh God, never.
Right? Do you love your job? Do you love it?
I do love my job. Yeah. You know what I
Good.
love? I have 2 boys. I love the flexibility of it. I'm my own boss. I did
Yeah.
work for a bank at one, a couple of years ago. I did run their in-house appraisal company. I was the president of their, more of their appraisal. And I just didn't, after working for yourself for so many years and then going into work, and it wasn't even, I was still my own boss there, but it just was more of a management, position. And I just really didn't enjoy that aspect of it. I like being able to, I wake up at 5, I'm at my desk, I'm in my pajamas, I'm working. I go take a shower when I want.
That's
When
nice.
my kids were young, I was, I picked them up from school. I was, at the house when the bus dropped them off. So flexibility, and I work Saturdays and Sundays. So, I make my schedule that way. So yes, I really do enjoy it. And I make a great salary. I do make a good salary.
Good.
So let me ask you. So basically your hours of operation, so you go out and you appraise houses like a couple days a week, and then you're in the office and you're doing your numbers all the time. Is that how that works?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So normally on Mondays and Wednesdays, I go out on the road and I do most of my inspections. I do some on Saturdays because a lot of people don't work on Saturdays. I like to be flexible. I don't like to have people take off days just to have the appraisal done because that sort of defeats the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But now with COVID, I mean, a lot of people working from home, so it's been great because they don't have any issues with me coming at any time of the day. And so it's been really good. So I haven't been really on the road on Saturdays,
Right.
More in the office. So yeah, office work on Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah.
All right.
Do you ever get private appraisers? Like they find you and go, listen, I would like to get an appraisal on my house.
Yes.
To see what it costs. And they would pay you directly?
So with those type of people that call me and say, I want an appraisal on my house because I want to put it on the market. Yeah. I always tell them that I don't want to waste their money because they can call a real estate agent and the real estate agent is going to do that for free. Yep. They don't need a physical report to put their house on the market unless they need it to sell it to a friend and it's not going through a real estate agent, then yes. Like I'm doing one now that's a trust that they're splitting the I'm doing it for the value of the house because they're splitting their inheritance 3 ways through the kids, so they need to know the value of the house. They're not selling it. One of the sisters is buying it. So in that case, that's a private appraisal, but to put your house on the market, I just say call a real estate agent and call a local real estate agent. Don't call someone that's not in your town, which a lot of people get caught up with calling their friends that don't live in their town. And it just really doesn't make any sense. But
I tell my customers when they're talking about that and trying to figure out what they should do to their house, before they go to sell. Yeah. And I'm like, just drive around the neighborhood, look at the signs, and you're gonna see a name that keeps popping up over and over again. That's the person to call because they have a finger on the pulse of what's going on in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, and what? It's sometimes good to call more than one because you get more than one perspective of, people obviously see things differently and know. They may have someone in their office, and we are seeing that a lot too, that, a lot of the purchase and sales that are coming over that the house has never even hit the market, which to me in this market is absolutely crazy why a seller would agree to that, because why not put your house on the market and have 50 offers? And what if there is a cash offer that it doesn't matter what the appraisal is going to come in at and someone's willing to pay for it? You know what I mean? Like, so that is happening a lot because, the inter-office people are going, I have a buyer for this, and they bring them and it doesn't even hit the market. So yeah.
Are you seeing since you're in Massachusetts and you're doing some New Hampshire where you are?
I'm doing more New Hampshire. I live on the border of New Hampshire, so I actually do more New Hampshire right now than I do Mass.
Are you seeing a more influx of people from Massachusetts going to New Hampshire, or like all?
Oh my God, types? By the droves, they are leaving Massachusetts like crazy and getting to New Hampshire.
Because of taxes? Is that why? Yeah.
And they're just sick of Massachusetts politics, I think.
Really? Okay.
Huh. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, a ton. Those vacation spots and definitely.
And I know it's because you appraised my place up in New Hampshire, and it is amazing. It's just booming. I mean,
crazy.
if I wanted to go up there as a handyman and get a job, it's crazy. I could be working 80 hours a week, no problem. Easy.
You could. I've done a lot of construction people's houses lately that are refinancing themselves. And I always say to them, how busy are you? And they're like, oh my God, crazy.
Yeah, well, flat out.
Crazy.
You know, when we talked before off the air, when we were getting you on the show, you were telling me something that I wasn't even aware of it. I don't think a lot of people are aware of this. When they're getting an appraisal done on their house, you told me, if you walk into a house and you see construction going on in the house, the appraisal stops right then and there. It's done. You can't go any further.
We don't stop. We just inform them that the bank is not going to loan on something that is under construction. So depending on the scope of what they're doing, if they have walls down and bathrooms, ripped apart, then the appraisal will be made subject to them completing that. They need to complete that before the bank would lend on it. Obviously, unless they're going for a construction loan, and that's a different story. But yeah,
right.
If something's done, it has to be major, nothing minor. Like if they're, doing new floors and the floors are, we just make note of that, and it's, in the process of them completing it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But any type of, a lot of people think that they can start a project and sometimes they don't finish it. And then it's, sitting there, walls open and toilets not done. So yeah, that has to be done.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's good to know. That's good to know for the audience when they hear that, because people are hot to trot to do that right now anyway.
So if somebody gives you a call, you show up to the house, take us through the steps of what an appraisal actually is.
Sure. We measure the exterior. We take pictures of the exterior. Mm-hmm. And then we just walk through the house, talk to the homeowner, ask them about any updates they've done to the property, just get all the information on heating, if it's private well or septic, and basically just walk through the house. So we check obviously for the quality of construction, the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms. And this is always interesting because when you have a raised ranch, a lot of people think that, we have 4 bedrooms. We have one on the first floor and then we have 3 upstairs. And for us, that really is not how it works, because Fannie and Freddie say that, anything below ground, even if it's a full basement with a full windows and a full walkout, is still considered a basement. So we have a different section in our report that we put that information on. And then I always get calls, you forgot my bedroom. And I'm like, no, you have to read the section in the report that states, the bedroom. And they say, well, it's not in the basement because it's a full walkout. But technically for us, the raised ranches, the splits are basements, they're still below ground. So, so we try to educate the homeowner on that, because, sometimes people get upset with you because they think that that's going to, make their appraisal come in lower, and it's not, because we just compare it to similar houses like that. That's why we don't look at a split and compare it to a colonial, because it's a whole different style of house.
Right. So what does make a bedroom, like on ground level and above?
So a bedroom just has to have, it has to be a minimum of 70 square feet.
Okay.
It has to have at least 7-foot ceilings. It has to have its own egress. So you can't walk through one room to get to the next room. And it has to have a window, an operating window.
Okay. So the misnomer about a closet.
For us, this is the big debate with the closet.
Yep.
I guess you have to look at the house and you have to think about what time period the house was built in. If it's a modern house that was built like within the last 30 years, you guys know as builders, you're building bedrooms with closets. People want closets.
Yes.
A house in 1900 or 1800 may not have a closet because they didn't have they had wardrobes back then. You know what I mean? Yep. So you have to look at the era and what the house, what today's market is calling for, and what the utility of the house, the style is.
Right.
Because there's so many debates on bedrooms.
Well, it used to be a closet was an indicator, back a while ago. I'm going back.
And now for us, it's no more. You don't need. When I started appraising, it had to have a closet to be considered a bedroom. Yep. They've since gone away with that rule, and now it's just it has to be a minimum, size. And I guess at
Egress
the end
is
of the
key.
day, you could really use any room as a bedroom, right? I mean, you could use your
Right.
dining room if you wanted to as a bedroom.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, but
Is that
and obviously
does
the septic will, in
Right.
a lot of towns that have septic, that will
Yeah.
dictate how many bedrooms you have.
Correct.
so does that damn it.
Catch up.
I can't believe I just
Yeah. Go have a hot dog.
shut up. So does that? Oh, that's what this is. What? Just shut up. So anyway, does that stand also in New Hampshire? What we were just talking about.
That's everywhere.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's everywhere.
So I got to back up a second. When you were talking about the basement, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my property now that you appraised,
Yep.
finishing the basement, and I wanted to put the bedrooms upstairs, downstairs.
Yep.
Is that something that I could do? Did you?
Well, you have sort of a little bit of a unique situation because where your property is on the lake, a
Yeah.
lot of times you have that reverse layout where you have the bedrooms and bathroom in the basement, and then you have all your living space on the top floor because you want to have the view. That's very common. Like,
All right. So it's something I could do. It's
Yeah.
something I could do. All right.
Yes. Yep.
Just don't want to end up doing it and it's like, nah,
No, but and-
No, he has
but
no
you're on
bedrooms.
you're on septic there too, so you would be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jen. Thanks. See,
You're
that's
welcome.
fine.
See?
All
There
right.
you
You
go.
just redeemed yourself.
That's what it
God.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I'm never going to be able to eat a hot dog without thinking about you now.
That's right. That's right. That's
My
right.
God.
In secrecy, you just
Yeah.
ever,
Give
ever.
give up hot dogs. Give up hot dogs.
Isn't
Yeah.
that amazing? Oh my God, he's such a nice guy, but he gets so upset when I put ketchup on a hot dog. This is fine. You know what? Colin hates, and then we'll get
Oh,
back to the
geez.
show.
All right, great. Yeah,
Guys,
sure.
tell
Wait.
him what you hate. He hates
I hate a lot
sardines.
of things.
He hates sardines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, Jen and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
I don't know. You,
Oh my
you
God.
forget
Yeah.
it. You're
You
out.
don't know how to live.
You're out.
You don't know how to live. You're so sheltered, both of you. All right, let's get back to the
All right,
show.
yeah.
Back to the show here. Brought to you by Heinz.
Hummel.
Not.
And
Go
Hummel.
ahead.
Hummel hot dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So is there a standard fee that people pay for an appraisal, or does it depend on the size of the house or anything else that goes into it?
So the AMCs have all different fees that, because they take part of our fee, some of them. So it ranges from, I would say, $350 for a single family now, maybe $350 to about $550.
Okay.
But that's for me. I know that different states are different. I heard New York is very low with their appraisal values. I did a
Really?
class. I was very surprised to hear that.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine was 400.
City.
Mine was 400. Mine was 400.
Yeah.
Yours was 400. Okay. Yep.
Yep.
So, yeah, and obviously, like anything over $1 million is more. I charge between $700 to $800 for anything over $1 million, and then from 1 to 4 families is more. Between $500 and $600.
So do you come up with your price after you find out what the square footage is on the house? Like if it was 6,500 square feet,
No.
you would adjust your price? No?
Nope. So when the bank sends us the order, when the AMCs send us the appraisal order, we see what the address is, we see what they're offering to pay, and then we can either accept it or we can conditionally accept it and say, this is why my fee is this way because it's, waterfront and blah, blah, blah. And I think that's what I did on yours, Jim, actually.
Yeah. Thanks, Jen.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, yours was a very complex property. So
Yeah, it was. Yep. I
the
understand.
complexity, definitely. I mean, you have to manage your time appropriately. And why am I going to accept an appraisal order from one AMC if they're paying less than another? I'm going to,
It makes total sense because
Absolutely,
I know
it's
mine
business.
was a challenge because where I am
Yeah.
in my town, it was unique because there's nothing.
There's
Even
nothing.
though there was nothing out there that's selling in my town,
Right.
and that was
Well, you're-
on the
yeah.
water. On the
Right.
water.
Because
And
nobody's
you
selling.
have you're like on a peninsula there. So you
Yeah.
are completely like, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so it
Yeah.
was tough, and I totally understood that, and I was like, what are we gonna do? Drum roll, please.
We,
And
like we're a
came out
team
great.
here doing this.
Yeah. It's like, all right. You
Nice.
know, I was like, wow. I was like, I never knew the complexity of this. And that's why I said, I think this would be really good to have you on the show. Since our show is called Behind the Studs, it's got a lot more to do than just building.
Right.
This all gets tied in together, and especially what's going
Mhm.
on right now with the
Sure.
interest rates and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll get some great feedback from the audience like we do.
Do you have a lot of people that you're dealing with that are going for like construction loans to do, renovations on their houses? Or are you finding more people are doing like decks and that sort of thing?
Decks are ridiculous
Yeah.
right now. They're ridiculous, and it's just like we'll see you next year. Hopefully, we'll have a good for you.
Mhm.
That's the terrible thing. I've been asked twice to be the subcontractor on construction loans because they won't give it to the homeowner.
Yeah.
And I'm really gonna wait. I'm really gonna get out of that. I don't like that. It's
Yeah.
way too, you've done that
Oh
too,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
That's too much of a. It's a really.
A long process.
It's a
It
long
is.
process.
And trying to get paid, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
they have to come and do the inspection, and then it has to
Yeah.
be submitted to the homeowner and the contractor. You both have to sign the check. It
Yeah.
just takes forever,
Yeah.
and it's tough. It is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't do that again. I really won't.
Yeah.
I won't. I mean, I'm glad I'm helping
know.
you out and stuff, but it's just like, there's
It's
the
a lot of
email.
work. It's a lot of extra
Yeah.
paperwork for us. So
Yeah.
now, so I would think, you walk into, say, a bathroom, and I just kind of help me with this part of it.
Sure.
So somebody does, subway tile on the shower and everything, trying to keep it classic and keep it simple.
Mhm.
Is there other things that they could do that an appraiser would walk in and go, wow, this is actually beautiful. It should probably be worth more than just a regular bathroom. I mean, what is it that they should be looking at to put in these different parts of the house to
Good question.
wow an appraiser?
Good question.
Thank you.
Colin.
Thank you.
Well, so I guess that's sort of a complex question because you have to look at the neighborhood and the values because you don't want someone to over improve their property for where it's located.
Won't
Right,
get your
yeah.
money. Right. You won't
Yeah.
make your money.
Right. And you see that a lot now with like hardscape, people putting in $100,000 worth of hardscape in their backyards, but it's really not conforming to the neighborhood because nobody else is doing that because it's there are tons of neighborhoods that are doing that, but then you get the neighborhood that nobody has any hardscape and the home doesn't conform to $100,000 landscape project that these people did, but because the guy's a landscaper and now he thinks that that's going to make his value go up $100,000.
Right.
So I guess it's more of what your town, the conforming, you can always upgrade and it's, obviously kitchens and bathrooms are your biggest expenses. So I always tell everybody, if you're going to upgrade anything for value, do your kitchens and bathrooms,
Right.
The other thing is like people aren't doing like jacuzzi tubs anymore. They're doing massive showers with the rain heads and the seats. I mean, those are the things you just want to keep up with what people today are looking for. So, you're not going to do an addition with this big tub and, you want to conform to what people are looking for today. I guess that's,
Okay.
Your biggest thing,
Yeah. Thank you.
So, Colin, I would get rid of your avocado tile. in
You
your
would?
bathroom. Yeah. And your
Fine.
avocado sink.
Maybe Jen likes that.
Yeah,
She may
I
like
do like
avocados.
retro.
Right.
she shows up in a go-go skirt.
Yeah.
Hey, I do like retro. I always tell my customers when I go into those pink and green and blue bathrooms, I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna come back. Don't worry.
Oh, it's definitely going to come back. I know that.
Well, it did try to make a comeback at one point. They were putting them back out again, like the different, toilets that were, pink and blues
Yeah,
and everything else. But
rose-colored toilets.
yeah, nobody bit.
No,
They're
not
like, yeah,
yet.
we're not ready yet.
no, we're not dead yet.
No.
Wait till we
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So I get another. So that question about improving the house. So here's a good thing.
Hmm?
So I put solar panels on my house.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, and I'm leasing them, and I'm not. I didn't buy them. I
Yep.
leased. But does that
No
improve the-
value.
No.
Really?
Zero.
Wow.
Huh.
No.
Not
kidding.
if they're leased. If they're owned, yes, but if they're leased, no.
Good. Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
right.
They do not allow us to do anything on leased, anything leased.
Anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
That.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So gotta Gotta buy them before you sell your house.
You have to buy them. Yes.
And
Yep.
then what kind of return do you get on that? Do you think? Do you get your
So
money back or?
it all depends on the wattage of the solar, what they give off. There's like a spreadsheet that you punch in the numbers and it will kind of give you what the value of the solar panels are worth.
Interesting. Okay.
But we also need to find something, a comparable sale with similar solar panels.
Oh, you ain't gonna find that yet anywhere.
Well,
I am.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, I know it is. Yep.
Yeah,
It should come. Yeah. Well, I just found out too because I've been talking to some people who are into the energy that work for like EverSource and stuff like that. Excuse me. There is another. I'll tell this to the audience too. There's another tax incentive came out this month, and it's getting a lot better. And I'm telling you too, if you own your own business. If you have a business, our guy here that I talked with, Chris Lindquist, actually, he made him be on the show.
Oh, good.
He is going to Boston, and he's doing all these energy saving plans for these big buildings. It's like he's in Boston right now, only up till November. But they go in there and they'll just go like, yeah, we'll change all this out for you, change all your lights out, and they do all this energy saving stuff for businesses all over New England. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep, but there is a tax incentive out there right now for solar panels and stuff.
Oh,
for
good.
Your house.
Good.
So just to let you know, go for it. Go now. Go. while it lasts.
Now
you save money on ketchup.
All right. So heating and cooling systems. So if you've got propane, does that work better in your favor for the resale?
Natural gas is the best for us.
Yep.
And again, obviously, depending on if you're in New Hampshire, a lot of New Hampshire is oil or propane because they don't have natural gas. So
Propane,
it's all whatever is conforming to the town. Yeah, but gas is obviously the best. Same with sewer and septic. You want to if your town has the public hookup,
definitely do it.
Yeah, definitely beneficial.
They're putting a new septic in my system, in my house. In my system. Thanks. Yeah, still rattled. It's been a day, Jen. But they're putting a new state-of-the-art system going into my property because we're near the water and stuff. So I'm sure that will improve the value of the house.
So here's the thing with that: if your septic is failing, you need a new septic. It's not going to make the value of your house go up the price of what you paid for the septic. It's going to make your resale when you go to sell it. We don't go like line item. Same thing. Like if your heating system's broke, you need a new one. Your toilet's broke, you need a new one. It's maintenance on your house. Your roof is leaking, you need a new roof. It doesn't necessarily mean the value of your house is going to appreciate the amount that you're putting into it.
She's bossy. Huh?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
Well, she got 2 kids.
Yeah. Just do it.
She thinks she's talking to her kids.
If you were selling your house, oh my God, that's the best selling feature, especially where you are, Jim, because there's no public service available there. Having a new septic system is huge. And we make note of that in the report. It's just hard to compare that to a comparable sale unless they have, we just group it in condition wise all together and make adjustments that way. We don't individually say new septic, 10,000, new toilet, 2,000. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's not itemized like that.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I've seen you work. I've seen you in action, and she's like,
really?
Bang! Oh yeah.
No boy. Oh boy.
She's doing it. She's like, she's looking and she's writing at the same time.
Oh my God.
It's like shorthand. It's just like she's nailing it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Well, she's been doing it for over 15 years. So,
right.
Yep.
15, yeah.
Absolutely. 15.
Yeah.
We're going to say 15.
We're going to say 15.
So what does an average appraisal take? How long?
Oh,
now we finish.
Start to finish.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 hours.
3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
When the paperwork is submitted after you go to the house and you appraise it,
that's doing like the inspection and then sitting down and doing the report. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Pretty good. I thought
Yeah,
it'd be
that's
like,
good.
I thought it'd be like, a
6
day.
hours or
Yeah,
7 hours.
8
Yeah.
hours.
No. 3. I would say 3.
Yeah.
On an
Okay.
average 3.
All
Because
right.
you have to remember, if you're doing them in towns that you stay in, you have so much data in your, and what you've been doing in the past. You have all the information. You know what I mean? So that's why I always say it's so good to stay in a local, where you pull comps and you're like, you can write in your report, I've been in that house. I've been in 5 of those houses that I'm putting in the appraisal. So, you
Yeah.
have information. That's definitely a plus.
Huh. So something that somebody can do just to kind of get their house ready for an appraisal, just maybe like a fresh coat of paint, maybe clean the house, make it look nice.
Help?
Yeah. So I always say, I always tell people, you don't have to clean for me. We're really looking at the quality and the straight, but I say that in hopes that the house is tidy and picked. I don't need them to, wash the windows but it should be done.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
I just feel bad because I know so many people are so busy and, and I don't want that to delay the appraisal. But yeah, cleaning, definitely cleaning and having it tidy and, I go into some really
I was
horrifying.
gonna say, have you ever been in a hoarder's house?
Yes, I bought a hoarder's house actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep, I bought
Look
a
at all the
hoarder's
free
house.
stuff
and
she had.
Yeah.
I gutted it. It took me a year. I gutted it.
Wow.
Yeah, because so for an appraiser, you have to look at a property and be like, just because you don't like the color of the walls or you have to see past that. Or the home decor that people, decorate, you know what I mean? You have to see past that's just cosmetics, and any of that stuff can be changed and completely change the look of a house.
Sure.
Same thing with people cluttering their houses, so yeah, I would say clean, and just sort of put away the clutter and make sure that your heat and your hot water are working.
Sure.
Yeah, that helps.
That's it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe how many times I go into houses that the people don't have any oil, so the heat's not working, and then I have to go back. And the other thing is, doing multifamilies, a lot of times, I tell my customers that, I have to get into every room of the house, and then you get to the house and it's a 3-family. And a lot of the times the people's doors are locked and then you can't get in. And then I tell them I'm charging them $100 to come back. And then they flip out on me. And I'm like, well,
Right.
I already told you that I needed to get into every room. And this is why,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You can't appraise something if you can't see it.
Right. And the bank requires us to go into every room. So it's just their guide. It's not my rule. It's their rule. And I just follow those rules. So
Did you ever go into a room with someone sleeping?
Oh yes.
Or a big dog?
Yes. Yes.
And I'm sure other things too.
I got bit once in the butt by a Yorkie, a little Yorkie. I was so embarrassed because I said, oh my God, I don't even have a war story. This little Yorkie bit me. It wasn't even like a big dog.
How far did you kick it?
No, I didn't.
She just shook it off her butt. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Bit by a Yorkie.
Yeah.
Little
Bit by
Yorkie.
a Yorkie.
Yep.
Little bastard.
Yeah.
Little nippy thing, but
Oh my God.
So any other horror stories you got?
I don't think so. I was trying to think of some, but I couldn't really think of. I love my job. I get to meet a lot of nice people.
Yeah.
Good. That's great.
Yeah, a lot of nice people. A lot of times, when I go to their houses, they go, "Oh, you're the appraiser," because they're expecting a man, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the appraiser."
Yeah. Anybody get really angry with you because the house didn't appraise for what they want?
Yes, I do have those people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Yes, especially right now where stuff is going for crazy money.
Yep.
And it's really about the real estate agents trying to educate their sellers that the whole process, because you wouldn't believe how many people are they think that a buyer comes in and they're going to pay this amount that it's a done deal, and then stuff just falls apart. And
Yeah.
it always comes back to the appraiser because they always blame us. It's our fault that their house isn't selling for $50,000 more, and
Right.
you know, so we're the bad.
Who do they complain to? Who do
So
they complain
by law, they're not even supposed to call me. You know, they're supposed to go through. You have a proper channel. You're supposed to go through the bank. So if they have
Right.
if you don't like the value of your appraisal, you have the right to, you know, send information to the bank and the bank will reach out to us for a reconsideration of value, and they'll send us their data that they have that the homeowner supplied to them, and we'll look over the data, and then we just make an addendum in our report as to why we didn't use those sales, or we can add them and then, you know, change the value if we see fit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the chances of you changing, I mean, you were there, you saw it.
Slim and none.
Right, exactly. I mean, what are they going to show you unless they just like remodeled it after you were there?
And I'm not saying that we make mistakes, and we, you know, they may have been like a private sale that we didn't see, or something that we missed, and that's very possible. And you know, I'm all for admitting that and putting it in my report.
Sure.
But you know, part of our job is to do the due diligence and to do all the research and, you know, figure out. Yeah. So.
Gotcha.
Well, this was very educational
today. For me.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks.
I learned a lot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I never considered my job very interesting.
Really?
No.
Oh, no.
Very, very interesting.
I can't tell you the number of, the type of questions that we were asking you that we get asked on a regular basis.
Oh,
so it's been great to be able to, answer those questions with some knowledge.
And that, you know, Jen, we deal with this all the time when people are going to sell their house, and they're going to we want to do all this, and I'm like, no, don't do that. You're never going to see that.
Right.
I mean, they want to spend.
I say this all the time when people ask me. I say, don't do it, because let the person that's going to come in here do it, customize it themselves.
Yeah. They're gonna rip it all apart anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Why do it? I tell people, if you're going to do the kitchen, you're going to do your master bath, are you going to be around for at least 5 to 10 years? If they say yes, that's it. Great. Enjoy it while you got it. Don't worry about resale.
Yep.
If they say we're out of here in a year or two, I'm like, don't do it.
Yeah.
just wait.
Case in point, when I was living in Old Lyme, my neighbors across where I was living, redid their whole basement, and they did this beautiful cedar or wine cellar in one big section.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! And the paneling and everything, it was just gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
Sold the house. The next day, when the guy bought the house, had it gutted.
Wow.
Gutted it.
Oh.
Gutted it.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, oh my God, that's just as bad as the ketchup. I mean, that was just like, how can you do that?
And it's all full circle.
I tell you.
Right.
God, I'm surrounded.
I don't know how we got 45 minutes back to ketchup at the end of this, but somehow he did
personality. I am positive. I'm positive. I like me.
And got started. People like me.
People like me. I know I deserve this some way.
Well, Jen, we appreciate you hanging in there with us.
God, thanks
for having me. That was
Absolutely.
fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now, how do people find you?
So you can email me at j.diburro@comcast.net.
Okay. And we can go ahead and post that on our Facebook page and everywhere else, so people can just take a look. And then they can contact you directly if they need even some questions answered. Be happy to. That's very nice of you.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining us. We really do appreciate it. You're welcome back anytime, as long as you don't start eating sardines or mustard on your hot dog.
Next time I'm on, I'm going to be eating a hot dog with ketchup.
Nice.
Right. Well, guess what? All you're going to see is my cardboard cutout.
Even better. I can't wait.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Everybody, thanks for listening. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us. And everybody, remember, you give us a call during the week. You can leave us a voicemail. We're happy to answer your questions, send you a free mug, or you can call on Tuesdays between 4 and 5.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. So
what's the phone number? Because I forgot it already.
You don't remember the phone number?
Nope.
Oh, God.
Nope.
860-248. Stud. Which is 7833.
Yeah.
No.
You had to think about
7883 or 7783. It's one of those.
Freaking stud.
I see Jen looking at her phone right now, so maybe she's going to bail us out here. No, all right.
Really
No,
gonna
great.
phone.
You're just over. You're already done with us.
done.
All right, forget it.
She's
Just remember, it's stud.
calling
Right.
for takeout.
That's all. That's all. All right. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.